What's up, guys and girls? Giovanni here, and we are at the penultimate episode for Vampirina Teenage Vampire. It's been a fun, wild ride, but let's see what this episode has in store.
Oh, you're gonna love her. She's pretty much up for everything.
Always a pleasure to see you, Lucy. It's time.
The episode opens up with V's powers still fritzing as they are getting worse. Much worse, to the point that V's bat wings are showing. V thinks with this happening, she won't make it to the end of the semester or won't be able to open up Millie's concert. I'm thinking to myself, I really wonder, how is this season going to end? Because I know for a fact she's not going back to Transylvania. Well, a mysterious guy pops up in the mirror and he says he has a solution. This guy's name is Lucien Constantine. But let's stop it right there. When I was watching the early parts of the show, I decided to check the wiki and see what's to come in future episodes. When I got to this one, I was like, Constantine? Are they about to do their own interpretation of the DC character? I was so hyped. Even the name Lucien, I thought, oh, that's Lucifer. I thought, what if they're combining both characters' personalities? However, that is not the case because Constantine in this show is a vampire who is located from a different Transylvania, which is located in Western Moldavia. So they have multiple Transylvania locations all over Earth? Interesting. Actually, I would like to correct myself because I think there's a Transylvania on Earth and in the Wizard World. It's just that V and the family is from the Wizard World version. You would think the principal would look into that if it was just solely in the Wizard World. They just used the Earth Transylvania for cover, and this can still go along with what I said for Demi's application in episode 6. V and Constantine start bonding, but Demi cuts this off and wants to know why is he in his mirror. He tells them both that he had left Transylvania and had got locked up in the mirror by a Van Helsing for it. Constantine just wanted to see the world, which V can sympathize with. He's been stuck in there for years, but thanks to Billy, she weakened the mirror and he is able to talk to them. V wants to know, can he really help her with the fritzing, which he says he can, and so he sticks his hand through the mirror crack and powers up V. V's wings go away and is back to normal. The school bell rings, and before V leaves, she tells him she's gonna find a way to get him out. Lucifer asks her, can she keep a secret? And she says she can, but you know, that is BS. And then she leaves. Later, V returns and still can't figure out a way to get him out. On top of that, V starts fritzing again. Lucy tells her that the only way he can get out is by the bloodstone of the Transylvania gargoyle. V goes and gets the stone and puts it in the slot on top of the mirror. Lucy then is able to escape. He walks out and is finally free. He takes all this freedom in by smelling the fresh air. With V helping him, Lucy helps her and once again powers V back up, ending her fritzing. With him out, she wonders will he go back to Transylvania, but Lucy decides he's not going to, as that would discard the whole point on why he left. V and Demi have to leave and Demi tells him to stay in the attic so they can find a good cover story for him. Lucy grabs the bloodstone, looks at it while saying this.
This Millie Eilish concert should be fun.
The reason V and Demi had to leave is because V promised she would meet up with Sophie and Eli for lunch. At lunch, Lucy shows up anyway and tells V and Demi he has it under control by mind controlling Dean to say he was an exchange student from Myria. From this, V continues to wonder will he stay as she wants the fritzing to end. Lucy brings up how being around her helps him too, plus he wants to see the Millie concert. V wants to show Lucifer how great Wilson is if he decides to stay. Cut to V and Eli going over a romantic scene for their final grade. Sophie is the director and she chose those two to direct. They do the scene, but it's not clicking, and so Constantine steps in to give it more tension. Lucifer does the lines and V is really caught in his eyes in the moment until Eli says cut. V and Sophie don't let Eli stop the scene. Sophie tells them to take 5. V leaves while Sophie and Eli have a little chat away from Lucifer. The two get into an argument, and at one point during the argument, Sophie thinks Eli might be jealous, but Eli laughs it off. As the two continue to argue, this green light comes out of them, and Lucifer sucks in that green light into him. Eli storms off and takes his 5, while Sophie sits down with Lucy staring at her with a menacing smile. A day or two has now passed. V is in a room talking to Demi about all this is so complicated. She wants Eli and Constantine to get get along. She wants Constantine to stay so she could be her vampire self and be with Eli since she likes him. But if she doesn't choose Lucy, he will leave. Demi tells her to listen to her undead heart. V thanks him, and then they hug. In the cafeteria, Sophie and Eli talk to V about how they rarely hang out, and Lucifer is always around. I guess Eli knows how Brittany felt with him always hanging out with the Boo Gang. But I feel Sophie and Eli are being over dramatic. It's been a day or two, a week at most. But the reason they act like this is one, Lucy is a pushover. Second, they want to hang out as much as they can before V leaves. V
almost let it slip.
She might not need to leave, so V tells them she'll talk to Lucifer. In the attic, V tells him this, but Lucy tells her that humans don't like us. He taps the mirror to show his point, and she will find out the hard way. He then decides to leave, since she'd rather spend more time with Sophie and Eli. Cut to another outdoor set, which is better than the previous one, of V telling Sophie in her Bat/Transylvania language that her powers are acting up again. Sophie has to come up with a plan, but V sees Lucy and goes over to him, and Lucy decides to help her. V thanks him, but she wants to know, where has he been? It's been a day. Lucy tells her that he decided to give her space, but with him helping her, he tells her that not only can that stop the fritzing, but he is the only one that understands her. V then leaves as Sophie called her. She wants to know, is V fine? She says yes. V and Eli get up on stage and do their scene, and it goes well cause the class starts clapping. They even go up to them to congratulate them. Lucifer, on the other hand, doesn't appreciate this and thinks I might need to get rid of this guy. In the attic, Eli tells Sophie he was so close to telling her how he felt, but she and the classmates had to C-block. Sophie apologizes, but is happy he is gonna tell V because
I can't take any more of this slow burn.
This explains why Sophie chose V and Eli for the scene. It's because she is Eli's wing woman.
Come on, you know I'm your wiggle wiggle wing girl.
Sophie and Eli grab their stuff, and while Sophie leaves, Eli takes one last look in the mirror until Lucy pops up from behind it, telling him to stay away from V, but his mind controlling doesn't work. This is when they both find out they are a vampire and a vampire hunter. Before it looks like they are about to fight, it cuts to V in her room writing with a pencil. I enjoyed this little full circle story moment. In episode 2, she was scared of pencils, and now V is no longer afraid of pencils. I still say V saying vampires don't like pencils is still BS. But let's move on. Lucifer talks to V and tells her he's decided to stay. This makes V very happy, but she really wants him and Eli to be friends. And Lucifer says,
Don't worry. Elijah and I came to an understanding.
You then see Eli in the mirror banging and begging to be let out. A monster sound in the room is then heard by Eli, which scares him, making him go back to banging on the mirror to be let out. The camera pans out from the clock tower, ending the episode. This episode was really good, and the title of the episode really fits perfectly, which is First Villain. The actor Jon Martens, who plays Lucien Constantine, did a good job. No, not a good job. A great job. This character, I would say, brought in what the show was missing, which was a threat to the show. Brittany is V's antagonist. Mariah is V's enemy, which goes along with the episode title she debuted in. And Constantine is V's supernatural threat and villain. Jon has one of those faces where you can always see him play a villain, and that's not a bad thing. I don't always get tired of seeing Giancarlo Esposito playing the villain in media. I want to say the characters in the episode kept calling him Lucien, but the reason I did it is because I just wish his name was Lucifer Constantine, hence me saying all the names but his actual first name. I'll mostly stick with Lucy, but I'm not going to say I'm never going to call him Lucien, just don't really expect it to happen. Anyway, my grade for that song is a 7 out of 10, and my grade for the episode is a 9 out of 10. But that's all I gotta say about that. If I see Jon Martens do the Constantine line,
Alright then. On with the show.
I'm gonna lose it because I think he could pull off that line. Plus, if he adds a menacing tone to it, that's just gonna make it better. It would be awesome. But with that being said, get your fingers up and say it with me.
Consider us even, John Constantine.
Constantine.
Is it? I don't care.
Bye.